99% of people are losing money for one simple reason: their financial tracking system is prehistoric. If you are still opening an app to manually log how much you spent on a coffee, you've already lost the battle. You are wasting your willpower on a task that an artificial intelligence can complete in 0.4 seconds. In this video, I'm not going to show you a generic savings app. I'm going to show you how to build a financial engineering ecosystem that captures, categorizes, and analyzes every cent of your life on autopilot. No manual spreadsheets, no missed entries, and with 95% accuracy. If you stay until the end, you'll see how this system doesn't just record your expenses. It detects capital leaks you didn't even know you had, sending direct alerts to your phone. The traditional method of personal finance is dead. Welcome to the era of autonomous management. Let's understand why your current system is designed to fail. The fundamental problem with personal finance today is friction. In any engineering process, friction is the enemy of consistency. When you rely on a manual habit like opening an app and typing in data after every transaction, you are introducing a high probability of system failure. Human error is inevitable. You get distracted, you lose a receipt, or you simply get tired of the repetitive task. This is why most people have no idea where their money actually goes by the end of the month. Their data is fragmented and incomplete. Think about your daily routine. You grab a coffee in the morning, that's one entry. You pay for parking, second entry. You buy a quick lunch, pay a utility bill online, and perhaps pick up some groceries on the way home. By 6 p.m. you have 5 or 6 data points to log. If you miss just one, your balance for the day is wrong. If you miss a week, your entire monthly projection is compromised. This constant microtasking is a cognitive drain that prevents you from focusing on what really matters: increasing your income. Current financial apps try to fix this with colorful interfaces, but they don't solve the underlying issue. The data entry is still archaic. Even apps that sync with your bank accounts often fail at categorization. For example, a charge at a local pharmacy might be for medicine, or it could be for a snack. A generic app will label it as health, distorting your actual consumption patterns. This is what we call garbage in, garbage out. If the raw data is poorly categorized, your financial analysis is useless. You cannot optimize what you cannot accurately measure. Think about the opportunity cost. If you spend just 5 minutes a day manually managing your expenses, you are losing over 30 hours a year on a low-value administrative task. An automated pipeline doesn't just save you those 30 hours. It provides a level of granularity that a human eye would always miss. We are talking about identifying recurring subscriptions you forgot to cancel, like that streaming service you haven't watched in months, or spotting subtle price increases in your utility bills that usually go unnoticed. To bridge the gap between where you are and total financial clarity, we need to stop acting like data entry clerks and start acting like system architects. We need a structure that handles the noise of daily transactions and converts it into signals for wealth building. The system I'm about to show you is designed to be invisible. It runs in the background while you live your life. But to build it, we first need to understand the 3 core components that make up this autonomous engine. Without this specific architecture, you're just moving your manual problems from a notebook to a digital screen. Let's break down the mechanics of the solution. To build a truly autonomous financial engine, we need to move away from all-in-one solutions and embrace a modular architecture. A robust system requires 3 distinct layers working in perfect synchrony. Think of it as a professional data pipeline. We have a storage layer, a processing layer, and a connectivity layer. But before we dive into the tools, we must understand why this is necessary. Historically, the burden of data entry has always been the downfall of management systems. In the early 20th century, companies had to employ literal human computers, entire rooms of people manually calculating ledgers. It wasn't until the mid-1950s, with the birth of the first digital accounting systems, that businesses began to scale. Yet, at a personal level, most people are still stuck in that pre-1950s manual mindset. We are still acting as our own human computers, wasting cognitive energy on basic arithmetic instead of strategic capital allocation. The first layer of our modern solution is the database, Google Sheets. Now, I know what you're thinking, another spreadsheet. But we aren't using it as a simple table for manual entry. In this architecture, Google Sheets acts as a centralized data warehouse. It's the terminal where all your raw data is organized, indexed, and stored for long-term analysis. By using a cloud-based spreadsheet, we ensure that our data is accessible, exportable, and ready to be visualized at any moment. The second layer is the cognitive brain, Google's Gemini AI. This is where the magic happens. Most apps use rigid if-then rules to categorize expenses, which is why they often get it wrong. We are using a large language model to interpret the context of every transaction. If you spend money at a local hardware store, Gemini doesn't just see a shop. It understands that based on your previous history, this is a maintenance cost. It reasons through the data, ensuring a 95% accuracy without you ever touching a keyboard. The third and final layer is the connective tissue, Make.com. Make is the industrial-grade automation platform that bridges the gap between your real-world actions and your database. It acts as the traffic controller, picking up signals from your input sources, whether it's a message, a receipt, or a bank notification, and routing them through the AI before depositing the refined data into your sheet. When you combine these three pillars, you create a closed-loop system. Information flows from the world, gets refined by intelligence, and settles into your records. Now that you understand the blueprint, it's time to open the tools and start the assembly. In the next section, I will take you inside the dashboard for a step-by-step build of the core automation. Now let's move from theory to execution. We are going to build what I call the central nervous system of your finances. This isn't just a simple shortcut. It's a data pipeline designed to eliminate cognitive load. This process is divided into three tactical layers: the trigger, the cognitive processor, and the ledger. First, we establish the trigger layer in Make.com. In systems engineering, the entry point is the most critical stage. If there is friction at the start, the data will never flow. This is why we avoid complex apps and instead use a simple messaging webhook, such as Telegram. Think about the psychological advantage. You are already in your messaging apps all day. By creating a dedicated bot, you transform a social tool into a high-precision input device. You simply send a quick note, for example, spent $85 on a new mechanical keyboard for the office, and make intercepts that signal in milliseconds. You don't have to remember to log it later. You capture the data at the exact moment of the transaction, ensuring that your records are a real-time reflection of your reality, not a distorted memory. Step 2 is the cognitive processing layer. This is where we integrate the Gemini API, and it's the most sophisticated part of the engine. Most people try to categorize expenses using rigid, keyword-based rules. But language is nuanced. If you say, "I bought some apples," a basic system might get it right. But if you say, "I invested in Apple today," a basic system will still put it under groceries. By using Gemini, we are giving the system the ability to reason. We provide a specialized prompt that instructs the AI to act as a senior financial controller. The AI analyzes the semantics of your message, identifies the intent, and extracts structured data. In less than a second, Gemini transforms your messy, natural language into a clean JSON object. It understands that keyboard is a business equipment expense and Apple is an asset acquisition. This layer effectively cleans your data before it ever touches your database, adhering to the principle of high-integrity data management. Finally, we establish the ledger layer in Google Sheets. Here, we map the intelligence provided by Gemini into a structured environment. The variables, date, amount, category, and specific metadata, are automatically routed to their respective columns. This is the moment where noise becomes information. Consider a real-world scenario of a small business owner who struggled with invisible expenses, those small recurring costs that seem insignificant. By using this frictionless trigger, they began capturing every minor software subscription and office supply purchase. Within 60 days, the system revealed that these microleaks accounted for nearly 12% of their monthly overhead. Because the data was categorized with high precision by the AI, they could see exactly which departments were bleeding capital. What you're seeing on screen right now is the foundation of a frictionless life. We have moved from the chaos of manual tracking to the order of an automated pipeline. But a database is only the beginning. The real power lies in what you do with that data. In the next section, I'm going to show you how to use this clean data to perform a financial audit in real time and how the system can project your path to financial independence based on your actual verified burn rate. Let's look at the insights. Once the pipeline is operational, we move from simple data collection to true financial intelligence. In engineering, a system without a feedback loop is a system out of control. Most people live in a state of financial entropy, where their capital dissipates into invisible friction. An automated engine, however, acts as a diagnostic tool that reverses this entropy. This is where the system begins to pay for itself through what I call data-driven arbitrage. The first strategic function is the automated audit. By having Gemini categorize every cent with high granularity, we can run a capital leak scan. We aren't just looking for big expenses, we are looking for the death by 1,000 cuts. Take, for example, a case where the system flagged a recurring $12 charge from a legacy cloud provider the user had forgotten. To a human, $12 is noise. To our AI, it's a variable. Gemini doesn't just log it, it calculates the opportunity cost. It can send an alert stating, "This unused subscription, if redirected to your NASDAQ 100 position over the next 5 years, represents an additional $4,500 in your portfolio." But the real power lies in pattern recognition and behavioral analysis. A human brain rarely notices inflation drift, that subtle 3% monthly increase in dining out or convenience fees. Our AI layer identifies these trends before they become habits. We've seen winning outcomes where the system detected that a user's convenience tax, delivery apps and premium services actually exceeded their monthly investment contributions. By visualizing this through the Google Sheets dashboard, the user was able to execute a capital reallocation. They didn't just save the money, they programmed a rule to auto-invest that specific margin into Bitcoin during market dips. We are transforming lost money into future freedom. If you identify just $250 of waste each month, you aren't just saving $3,000 a year. You are creating a seed for compound interest that, at an average 8% return, adds over $75,000 to your net worth in a decade. The goal of this architecture isn't just to see where the money went, but to dictate exactly where it will go. You are moving from a reactive mindset, wondering where your money vanished, to a proactive investment strategy backed by hard, automated data. You are no longer just tracking the past, you are engineering your future. Now that we have the insights, let's look at the final step to deploy this system for yourself. Implementing this system isn't just about saving a few minutes a day, it's about taking a definitive stand against the financial friction that keeps 95% of people stagnant. You now have the full blueprint to transition from manual chaos to a high-performance engineering pipeline. You've seen how to build the trigger, how to leverage Gemini's cognitive reasoning, and how to turn raw, messy data into a strategic asset for multi-generational wealth creation. But knowing is only the first step. In the world of systems engineering, a design that isn't deployed is nothing more than a theoretical exercise. The real competitive advantage belongs to those who execute. We have seen users apply this exact architecture to manage not just personal expenses, but entire real estate portfolios and trading accounts. By centralizing their data through this autonomous engine, they've reclaimed over 100 hours of administrative work per year. Imagine what you could do with 2 extra weeks of pure focus every single year. That is time redirected toward your family, toward scaling your business, or toward mastering the markets. To make this transition seamless for you, I've prepared a complete documentation package. This isn't just a basic summary, it's a technical toolkit. If you want to access the exact Make.com blueprints, the API prompts for Gemini, and the Google Sheets dashboard we refined today, you will find the links in the description below. This is the foundation for you to customize, iterate, and scale. The results are non-negotiable: total clarity, zero manual entry, and a 100% accurate view of your path to financial independence. The era of the human computer, of being a slave to your own spreadsheets, is officially over. We now have the technology to build a machine that works for us, providing the signals we need while we focus on the high-leverage decisions that actually move the needle. If you've reached this point, it's because you're part of that small percentage of people ready to bridge the gap between AI and personal freedom. So, if this technical breakdown added value to your vision, hit the subscribe button right now and join IA Solutions USA. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next build, where we'll be integrating advanced trading signals directly into this pipeline. Join our community of engineers and creators who are redefining what it means to be efficient. Remember, you are the architect of your own infrastructure. Don't let a poorly designed system dictate your financial future or steal your time. Build the engine, automate the noise, and focus on the growth. I'm Christian, and I'll see you in the next build.